Hello, good afternoon, and good morning. I'm LaKendra Tooks, and it's time for Tooks Takes. And Ken's Day crew, I'm sorry in advance if I'm a little somber today, if I'm not as bubbly and jovial as I typically am. It is because I am still shook, shocked, and shaken by this Wendy Osefo bombshell. I mean, what? You guys, we got to talk about this. We, okay, first of all, hi, forgive me. We got a big show today. As per usual, big show. We're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Miami. But we got to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac because it's almost like nothing else matters right now. Because last night, which if you follow me on TikTok at LaKendra Tux at Tux Takes, I really was like grappling with this. Like, how am I gonna just sit here and watch the Real Housewives of Potomac like everything's okay? Everything is not okay. Because why, Dr. Wendy and Eddie Esquire? Why? Let's talk about this, okay? Because first of all, look, now I'm a hustler and I understand being a hustler. You got to get out there. You got to have multiple streams of income. You got to do your thing. And when you get on a reality show, you get on a show like The Real Housewives, you are part of what you are selling and what we want to see. I personally, I do like to see the housewives living a fabulous lifestyle. I mean, I listen, I know some people like a relatable broke housewife. Not me. If I want relatable and broke, I go watch Hoarders. Okay. When I turn to the housewives, I want to see luxury. I want to see beautiful homes. I want to see nice cars. I want to see a nice car. I didn't enjoy seeing Giselle driving that Fiat a few seasons ago. I want to see them I like to see an aspirational lifestyle. And I was actually before this Wendy Osefo bombshell was dropped, I did an episode of So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. Hey Ryan, last week. And we were talking about this on OC because y'all know I'm not a fan of Gina and Emily, Gemily. I make fun of Gina for being broke by housewife standards. She's certainly not fabulous. But I don't know. Even though I do want you to be wealthy, I want it to be real. You know, I don't want fraudulent wealth. I want some wealth that we're proud of. That like, yes, yeah, am I bragging right now? Yes, this is my beautiful mansion. I invented Post-its. Cuz to me, you spend your money and you flex your money differently if you've earned it. You know what I mean? And let me tell you something. Marrying into it is a form of earning it. Absolutely. Any of you in the Ken's Day crew, if you got a rich spouse, I know you're nodding your head right now, like, oh, yes, baby, being married to a rich person, it's great, it has its perks, but there's ups and downs to this. You know what I mean? So I'm all about earning your money. You can't be out here being fraudulent. And at first, now I'm so silly, y'all. Y'all know I only watch Law and Order SVU. Like I didn't go to law school, so I don't know it. And also, listen, I said this last week. I've never had any of my friends go to jail, never had any of my friends get arrested to my knowledge. I do have, I mean, listen, I'm from the South. My Southerners know what I'm talking about. We all have relatives that are, that may or may not have the best relationship with the law. I'm not judging anybody about that. I'm not judging you if you commit crimes or if you do. I mean, fraud is wrong. Don't get me wrong. Fraud is wrong. But I am going to use this as a moment to vent about insurance because there is this little part of me that's like fraud is wrong, but also I think insurance is a bit of a fraud. Like yeah, it's great when you need it, but then like and let me just tell y'all what I'm dealing with my freaking car insurance right now. Okay? And now I'm still not committing any fraud, but I'm thinking about figuring out a way to commit some dang fraud. Cause what the hell, insurance? Now I got in a car accident when I was like in college. Other than that, my whole entire adult driving career, I am clean as a whistle. I get in one tiny little fender bender last year. I fender bended with this dumb woman who didn't know how to parallel park right. She was all in my way, so I had to swerve around her. And they did say I was at fault. And to which I'm like, it really depends on who you ask. Who was underwriting that day? Because I know if one of my girls or somebody in the Ken's Day crew had been underwriting that day, they would have said, she didn't know how to parallel park. How is that Miss Tooks's fault? But anyway, so I got in that little fender bender and my insurance premium skyrocketed. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, how is there no consideration for the fact that I haven't been in an accident since 2000 and early 2000s, So if you are, hey, Kent State crew, if you are out here and you're involved in some type of insurance fraud, I get it. Insurance is the biggest racket. It's a racket. Should I start an insurance? Maybe I should start an insurance firm. Tooks, what would my insurance firm? Tooks Mutual. Tooks Mutual. That's my insurance firm. But yeah, insurance is such a racket. So, but here's the thing though. If you're not good at committing crimes and being a criminal, you shouldn't do it because they're going to catch you. Now, I know I am a hustler, but I'm not good with crime. I don't even try. I know the people that got the PPP loans, they did this, they did that. Do you think about it for a second? You're like, hey, can I get over on the government? But then there's that other part of me that's like, I don't want to go to jail. And then that's what's killing me about Wendy Osefo and Happy Eddie. Because, I mean, it's looking like, and from what I'm seeing, the scuttlebutt I'm seeing online, it's looking like they're probably going to do some time for this, which that just makes me sad for their kids. And then also, Dr. Wendy, you go on and on and on about having these 4 degrees. And by the way, y'all know I love Dr. Wendy. I love the Osefos. I just last week sat in this very chair and talked about how much I love that family. They are my Bravo Black excellence. I love to see it. So, Dr. Wendy, you got 4 degrees. Why do we need to be fraudulent? And also, I'm going to need to see those transcripts. I need to know. Now I don't trust anything. Eddie's a lawyer. Also, as a lawyer, Eddie, because y'all know I am trying to get a presence in the prisons, okay? Anybody who's a member of the Ken's Day crew in the clink, you're valid, okay? So if you are listening to us right now from behind bars, I want you to know you are an integral cog in the Tooks Takes machine. So, Eddie, if you are behind bars, behind glass right now, and you're listening to me, I'm disappointed in you, Eddie. As the man of the house, because here's what I'm thinking took place. And y'all know I'm saying all of this as somebody who loves Dr. Wendy. And if you've been a friend of mine for a long time, you know that I am, and this is my toxic trait, I'll admit it, I am sometimes a little bit of an apologist for the housewives I love the most. Why? Because I love them. Y'all know this is my sports. And for those of you who are fans of traditional sports, you know that sometimes these athletes, we put them on this pedestal. They have this amazing ability, amazing talent, but they're only human. They make mistakes. So right now with Dr. Wendy, I think I'm feeling the way the baseball fans maybe felt about like Pete Rose. I feel like, Wendy, you took a gamble on insurance fraud and you lost. And it's not right. And here's the thing, too. Oh, wait. Sorry, y'all. So, Dr. Eddie, I'm disappointed in you because what I think may have taken place. I think Dr. Wendy, allegedly, I need to see your transcripts before I'm just calling you Wendy now. I'm not going to call you Dr. Wendy again until I see some documentation and some proof. So for right now, Dr. Wendy, I'm sorry, Wendy. God, I'm so used to calling you Dr. Wendy. Wendy. I feel like Wendy probably went up to Eddie and said, hey, listen, we got to do this, that, and the third. And we got to get more money. And who knows, now, shout out to the Nigerian community, there are a lot of stereotypes, and we've all gotten these emails from the Nigerian football teams. And then I'm also like, okay, who came up with this idea? Because I don't think you just wake up one morning and say, I'm going to commit insurance fraud today. I feel like, I don't know, maybe maybe they were watching a movie, maybe they were watching a Netflix doc. Cause y'all know how it is. Sometimes you watch Dateline or you watch Snapped and you see how somebody else killed their husband and you're like, maybe I can get away with it. And it's like, no, no, you can't. So obviously you don't commit a crime thinking I'm going to get caught. You commit the crime thinking I'm gonna get away with this. I noticed some people's comments saying that they thought Wendy was pretentious and egotistical. Her ego is too big. And I've never felt that way about Wendy the whole time. And then I'm like, okay, is that me being toxic? Is that my toxic femininity? Is that just me thinking, just thinking so highly of Dr. Wendy that I don't see it that way? Or, now I will say this, not to get too deep, I also know how it feels. I've had a lot of people tell me that they think I'm stuck up or that they think I'm conceited. And I do feel like sometimes, especially when you're a black girl, especially when you're a dark skinned black girl, and you carry yourself a certain way and you think a certain way about yourself, people sometimes aren't used to that. And I think sometimes when you walk into the room and you own it, people will immediately be like, well, who does she think she is? And it's like, it's not who I think I am, it's who I know I am. And if you have a problem with that, that doesn't make me pretentious. That just makes you somebody with a problem, and it's not my problem. So I've never thought of Dr. Wendy as pretentious. I've never had a problem with her being like, I have 4 degrees. Having 4 degrees as a black person in America is a huge accomplishment. I would be screaming that from the mountaintops too, especially as I believe Dr. Wendy is a first generation American. Her parents are immigrants. If I got any, parents of immigrants in the crew, your parents push you. Like for people of color and black people, our parents push us. My parents pushed me. My parents wanted me to have an education. My parents wanted me to speak well. My parents wanted me to carry myself in a particular way. My parents did not want me falling into any stereotypes, which I think is fair. I'm very grateful for my upbringing. And I feel like my other friends of color, my friends who are children of immigrants, their parents are raised them very similarly, where they're like, look, I don't want anybody thinking anything about you. You have to be well dressed. You have to be clean. My parents used to check my homework, make sure everything was correct. Did you write neatly? Make sure your handwriting's legible. I mean, they were on top of me about every little thing. So then one day in life, when you make it, maybe you are a little braggadocious, but to me, is it braggadocious or is it just proud? I don't think there's anything wrong with being proud of your accomplishments. I love that Dr. Wendy, she's proud of her family, proud of her marriage. I think that's great. I don't think that's pretentious. But then my thing too is, and this is for anybody, if you get an opportunity to be on a reality show, it's a great opportunity. You don't need to be fraudulent. Be yourself. If you're poor, be poor right now. But just be yourself. Because we'll get to the Real Housewives of Miami. None of us cared about Stephanie's wealth, the private planes. I mean, the Birkins were impressive. I do love the Birkins. But none of us care about that stuff. We care for those of us that are fans of the show, just come on the show, be iconic. If I felt like Gina was Gina from OC, I'm sorry, I keep bringing her up. If I thought she was like super iconic and beautiful and like dynamic in some way, I'd be able to forgive her, financial hardships, or her, living in the casita, because listen, I live in an apartment. I'm a renter. Angie K. I'm a renter. So I'm not, I'm not judging anybody else, but I'm like, be yourself. Like listen, Alex Baskins. Hey, Alex Baskins, when you call me to do Took's Takes, the reality show, yeah, season 1, we might be in my apartment that I'm renting. But you gotta like you just do things right. Like this show opens up so many doors for you that it's like you don't need to commit fraud. Also, it's like Teresa Giudice already did that. So it's like, remember when Jay-Z said Hove did that, so hopefully you don't have to go through that. Teresa Giudice is like, I already went through that. You don't need to do that. You're like, we've seen, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me, Wendy. Wendy. I'm just upset and I'm sad and I feel bad for your kids. I feel like Gizelle and Ashley, Bandit and Imp, You know they're somewhere right now going, ha 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 ha. And it's just, they're loving this. I saw that little clip of Ashley talking about Zen win in the pen. You know who needs to be in the pen? Your baby daddy, Ashley. Why isn't your baby daddy in somebody's pen? Let's get into the Real Housewives of Potomac because I just cannot. I don't want to cry. I don't have any Kleenex. So, and I don't want to cry. So we're just going to move on to this episode because, yeah, Dr. Wendy, that's actually what makes me the most mad about this arrest is that you're giving Bandit and Imp ammunition to just be terrible. And I don't like it. And I'm disappointed. And I don't want you to go to jail. They had to pull her episode of Wife Swap. I'm so mad. Not just for her, but for the other family that was involved. Because if you book something as an actress or if you book an episode of a game show or something like that, you only get paid if it airs. So now it's like Dr. Wendy and Happy Eddie, you effed up your pockets, you effed up their pockets because now the episode's been pulled. And also, I want to see the episode. Is there anybody that works at Bravo who can give me the episode? Hey, Andy. Andy, give me the episode. Also, shout out Jeff Lewis was on Watch What Happens Live Sunday night. Jeff, you looked so cute. They just had a Chumps Week in New York. What I love about seeing Jeff on Watch What Happens Live. I love the banter between Jeff and Andy. I love because there's some tension there, which I love. And I also love how Jeff is like, yeah, Andy, you're my boss. But, y'all know how Jeff is. Jeff doesn't really care. He's like, whatever. I don't care. I'm doing me. So I love that. I love that, Jeff. You looked really cute on Watch What Happens Live. So we get into the Real Housewives of Potomac. We are still at Ashley's second bloom party. And Ashley and Stacey are still going at it. And again, my toxic trait is that I do make excuses for the housewives I love. I love Stacey. I love her. In fact, Ryan Bailey gave me the fabulous idea that I need to reach out to Stacey. Hey, Stacey, I'm going to have my people call your people because we do want to get you here for Took's Takes because I just feel like me and Stacey would have such a good time chit-chatting together. And if anybody can pull the truth out of Stacey, it's me. This girl right here. I don't know if you guys are aware, but my nickname in college was Oprah. I know how to get the truth out of people. When people let me tell you something. When you come and sit in LaKendra's chair, you're going to tell me everything. I know how to get information out of people. So I feel like I'd be able to get the truth out of Stacey. But I believe her about the divorce. I think I believe her about the divorce. I mean, I like her. Like, I don't understand. This is the same thing I had to say last week. I don't understand why Gizelle and Ashley are so hell bent on going after Stacey about her divorce. Like, I don't know. Are they just mad? Are Bandit and Ip just mad that their husbands didn't want them? Stacey's husband, her and her husband are going to try to work it out. That happens sometimes. I've never been divorced, but hey, sometimes you get divorced and then you have Christmas and then something, I don't know, you get under the mistletoe and something happens and you're like, I don't want to be divorced anymore, but our divorce is final. Well, let's date. She got her ring back on. Leave her alone. Gosh, leave my girl. Leave Stacey alone. You just want her to give you more. She's giving you more. She's giving you enough. Leave Stacey alone. Leave her alone. Whether she's divorced or not, just be her friend or not. Honestly, if you want to be friends with me, I don't care if your divorce is final. Now, if you want to date me, I need that divorce to be final. I need to see the receipts. If you're coming at me and you're like, well, I'm in a trial separation, you let me know when the divorce clears. When the judge bangs the gavel on that divorce, that's when you call me. But if we're just friends, I don't care. Like, whether you're divorced or not, whether you paid TJ or not. Oh, I was actually really glad that Andy asked Jeff about this whole Stacey and TJ situation, because Jeff brought up a good point that I agree. It sounds really far fetched to think that she would offer him her half her paycheck. I mean, that's a lot to offer somebody. And Jeff said this, and I do agree that some if you do have somebody on your show quite a bit, I don't know in the reality TV world. Like I know in like, scripted, if you're gonna have somebody on your show, I think there's like all these SAG guidelines. I don't know if that's the case for reality TV. If someone is guesting quite a bit on your show and you want to compensate them in some way, I think that's perfectly fair and perfectly reasonable. I don't think anybody would ever be like, here's half my check. But then Ashley chimes in and is like, well, it's a specific number. Well, you know what? Do you know how many housewives there have been now? Like, everybody, I would not even say, I wouldn't use that as a reason to like legitimize this. I mean, of course, I might be eating crow. If I end up having to eat crow, I'm already going to have to eat some crow over Dr. Wendy. So if I end up having to eat crow over Stacey, send me a crow. Send me the crow. Do they have crow at Whole Foods? I want my crow to be organic. I do not want any hormones in my crow. If I do end up having to eat the crow, I want it to be free range, grass fed crow. And I can cook it myself. I will season it up. Y'all have seen Tooks Cooks. Y'all know I am a whiz in the kitchen. I'll season it up. I'll do a whole Tooks Cook of me preparing the crow. If I'm wrong about Stacey, y'all, hook me up to the lie detector. I'm telling you the truth. If I am wrong about Stacey, I will eat crow. And we'll do a whole Tooks Cooks. We will learn how to make some crow, and I will eat that crow. Hopefully I don't have to eat crow. But now let's talk about Stacey's marijuana line, because also I'm looking at Dr. Wendy and Eddie like, you guys have all these multiple streams of income. Why do you need to do the fraud too? Did they get greedy? Because they've got also, Eddie, you're a lawyer. Are you not practicing right now? Go practice. What are you doing? I wish my husband would have passed the bar and not out here practicing law. Boy, you better go practice some law. You could have your cannabis company. You could do this. You could do that. But I'm telling you, Monday through Thursday from 4 to 8, I want you practicing 4 to 8, whatever. What time do people work? What? 9 to 5. Listen, my man, I just wanted to work from 4 to 8. Monday through Thursday from 4 to 8, I want you out there practicing law, okay? I want you working in the night court. Be doing something. You've got the law. You spend all that time in law school. Do something with the law, because I get it. You want to have the cannabis company, but you have to be doing a lot of different stuff so that you don't end up doing fraud. And Wendy was trying to do all these products, the candles. She wanted to have her like, didn't she try to do like a skincare line? And that's the thing that you guys, when you get future housewives of America, and I'm talking to myself here too, because y'all do know I am trying to get on one of these casts. I'm gonna marry somebody's son or something like that so I can get on one of these casts. But what you got to do is be smart. Be like Bethany Frankel. Now we don't F with Bethany Frankel anymore. However, the way that she did her business on Housewives, she's the best to do it. You can't take that away from her. If I'm doing my Housewives Rushmore, even though I don't really F with Bethany anymore, I have to respect her as a businesswoman. Like, Bethany is the MVP. Michael Rappaport says she's the Michael Jordan of Housewives. She is. Because she's so smart with her business. And it's like, do that. Have a brand. Have something clear that is like your thing that people can latch on to. It's because it's like with Wendy, and you're a doctor and you had gone on so much about having all these degrees, and then it's like, well, actually, I don't want to be a doctor anymore. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I get it. All that stuff is really hard. It's really easy to just be like, hey guys, I got a lot of questions about this coffee mug, and if you act right now, you can save 20% with my code TUX20. It's a lot easier to be doing that, but you got to still do your other stuff too. Like, I'm so mad at her. But honestly, I'm wondering now, Stacey, Stacey girl, did you tip off the feds on the Osefo schemes because you wanted to monopolize the marijuana cannabis industry? I don't know because I don't know what's going to happen with Happy Eddie. Hopefully, for those of us who enjoy a little herbal refreshment, hopefully somebody is still, keeping things together over at Happy Eddie. If not, y'all, we're going to have to start smoking Stacy's products. And you know what? Honestly, who cares? Like, I'm not, if one of my friends is like, look, Kendra, I think I'm going to start a podcast, I'm not going to get mad at them. It's like, yes, girl, start your podcast too. Yes. And even Dr. Wendy's like, start your marijuana company too. And wasn't it weird? Wasn't it weird, y'all, to be watching the episode knowing that there was a fake robbery? Oh my goodness. Now it's making me think of Dorit. We got to investigate Dorit too. The fake robberies, false police reports. You just can't do it. But I really like the new additions to the cast on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, last week I debuted my impression of Tia. As you all know, she is British. She is also Nigerian royalty. But then her husband is like a brother from the south side of Chicago. I love that. I love it. Hey, other side note, have you ever been in a heated discussion with someone and they just bring up crime in Chicago for no reason? Yeah, me neither. Anyway, I love Tia. I love her kids. Her daughters are so pretty. Her little twins are adorable. I love the new girls. I love that we're going to get to know them more. And I love that they're both in happy marriages. Because, I mean, hello, the key word in housewives is wives. And so many of these women are not wives. So, I mean, call me a purist. I love to see a real housewife who's a real housewife. I love that. So, actually, is Tia, are you going to be my new black excellence, Tia? Now that I can no longer depend on Dr. Wendy to be my Bravo Black Excellence, Tia, I am expecting you, Tia, to step up to the plate and be the Bravo Black Excellence that we all need. You better not be fraudulent, Tia. If I find out that you're out here in these streets being fraudulent, we're going to have a problem. I mean, Tia's Nigerian too, but Tia's like, hey, I might be Nigerian, but don't get me involved in any scams. I'm not a scammer. I'm not a wanker. And I like how Tia is as a mom. I like that Tia puts her husband to work. She's like, listen, I grew up with drivers. I'm not going to now be the chauffeur. That's my husband's job. Love that. Now let's move on to Ashley getting invited to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I know I sound like a hater. Maybe I am a little bit of a hater because I'm just like, Ashley, you must have an amazing team. She must have a really good publicist, a really good team because I mean, I don't know if a lot of the housewives get invited to the White House correspondent dinner, but actually I don't want to get invited to the White House correspondent dinner right now. Hopefully I will want to in the future. Right now I don't want to get invited. And if they did invite me, I would probably res- not. I'd probably disrespectfully decline. Ashley, though, we get a little blast from the past. Remember her guy that she was dating last year, Josh, the guy who looks like Jack Harlow? She's actually taking him as her date to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And actually, I know he's young, but I'm kind of rooting for him because he's cute. Ashley, we know Ashley has daddy issues. We saw her daddy issues play out live when remember? She knocked on her biological father's door and he did not answer. So we know that Ashley has daddy issues. That's how she ended up getting married to Booty Grabbing Gollum. And then on Love Hotel, she was with that old dude on Love Hotel. Listen, what did John Mayer say? Fathers, be good to your daughters. Fathers, be good to your daughters because you don't want your daughters out here with daddy issues. Please. Because I'm looking at Ashley like, this guy is very cute. Like, make it happen with him. And actually, if he doesn't mind being bothered by your kids, make it happen with him. Now, I also love the new girl, Angel. And I was kind of maybe like lusting over her husband a little bit last week. No, no, no. Wait, actually, let me not say that. I'm not lusting over this married man, but I do think he's very handsome. And I'm like, Angel, good for you, girl. I'm like, Lord Jesus, I see what you did for Angel, Lord. Bless me. Because you can tell I feel like this guy really loves her. Like you can see the look in his eyes. He's looking at her like, yo, I got a good girl. She's beautiful. That's my girl. And I love that he reached out to her on Facebook. I'm jealous. Do you know who's reaching out to me on Facebook? People trying to get me to do a dang pyramid scheme, a MLM, some ugly dude that I rejected in high school that thinks maybe I've changed my mind 13 years later. No, I haven't. Y'all know I'm ageless like Mariah Carey. But girl, go ahead, Angel. Angel. Hey, Angel. Angel. I see you, girl. The brothers from the NFL sliding in your DMs. Angel, you better be careful, girl, though. You got to be careful because now you're in this Real Housewives of Potomac space. You got to be careful because people like Gizelle and Ashley, it's just a matter of time. They're gonna come for you because they're gonna get jealous of what you have. But I do want to talk about Kiarna and Ashley because they've been friends for 20 years. And y'all know Kiarna is having this little back and forth with Wendy. She feels like Wendy's condescending and standoffish. And then Angel's like, but have you heard Wendy's side of the story? And I'm Team K on this one because it's like when I'm with my girlfriends, they already know. Do not come over here trying to play no devil's advocate with me. If I have already made up my mind that we don't like her, we don't like her. If we change our minds tomorrow, I'll let you know. But don't be trying to play devil's advocate when I've already made my mind up. And I love that Angel is like into wellness. Angel's my kind of girl. I really like both of the two new girls, Tia and Angel. You two are the two because I thought I could hang out with Dr. Wendy. The only people in Potomac right now that I'm going to hang out with, well, me and Stacey will just have our one-on-one time because that's my girl. I will also hang out with Angel, Tia, and Kiarna. I love them. I love them. I'm scared to hang out with Dr. Wendy anymore because I don't want her, doing any fraud around me. I don't want to get mixed up in any type of fraudulent anythings. Oh my goodness, you guys, I almost forgot to talk about Karen Huger's friend, Miss Cookie. Miss Cookie! I love Miss Cookie. Miss Cookie, I'm coming to Potomac and I want to hang out with you, Miss Cookie. She's got these gigantic boobies. I love those gigantic, just knockers. You want to talk about some knockers? Bang, bang, bang. Miss Cookie's got the knockers and she's got those nails. Miss Cookie, you are fabulous. And Miss Cookie has been there for Karen. Thank you, Miss Cookie, for taking care of Karen, taking care of Mr. Ray while Karen was in the clink. We got to do something. Listen, y'all, we got to do something for Miss Cookie because she's been taking care of our darling Karen Huger, while she's in the clink. And I think it's really sweet that Gizelle wants to do something special for Miss Karen for her birthday. But y'all, this episode actually ends with a little bombshell. Ashley drops a grenade that Stacey, my girl, has been trying to get with Chris Samuels, ex-husband of Monique, drag you by the wig, Samuels. And I'm just like, what? I don't know. They're calling Stacey a liar, but I don't know. I think Ashley's a liar. And Gizelle is whatever. Gizelle just can't be trusted. She is so committed to never actually telling us anything that's going on in her life. She will take any little thing you say. Like this chin check comment. Oh, well, Kiarna told us that she chin checked you. And Angel's like, I know Kiarna wouldn't say chin check about me. And no, then Gizelle is like she's the bone collector. She is a dog with a bone. No, she said chin check. Chin check. And it's like, she didn't mean it like that. Like, yes, I thought chin check is like a little check to the chin. But also, I think it doesn't have to be literal, Gizelle. Always trying to stir up dissension. This is why clothes don't look good on you, Gizelle. This is why God refuses to allow clothes to look good on you. Because you're always doing little mess like this. And I mean, yes, like you're good for the show, whatever. But I would rather any single housewives, I want to see you going on dates. I want to see you being single and fabulous. I don't want to just see you running around Potomac stirring up dissension over a chin check. Let's quickly talk about part 2 of the Real Housewives of Miami reunion because we know on part 1 we got that lesbian bombshell. And we do get a little bit more details. Julia's like, I don't want to go into it. It's very intimate. Now we do know that there was no scissoring. Good. No scissoring. I don't know if I don't know if cunnilingus took place. But what makes me sad, like I feel bad for Martina, but then again, I don't feel that bad for Martina. I'm almost looking at Martina like, this is almost what you deserve. Because I mean, Martina's transphobic. She's surrogate phobic. So I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Martina, and I don't like the way I was seeing Martina treating my girl Gertie. So I don't really feel that sorry for Martina, but it's like, yo, Julia, y'all, we talked about it briefly here, but look it up, y'all. Look up Julia's the guy that she was with, that she had her son with. I mean, Julia has been through a lot. Julia is dark. I'm telling you, we saw that dark side of Julia this season, but I'm telling y'all, we barely scratched the surface of how dark Julia's dark side is. Julia's got some demons, not imps, demons. But I will say this also, because I love Gertie so much, but I haven't really loved her performance in this reunion, unfortunately, and I'm really scared. Ryan and I talked about this on his show last week. I'm really scared that Gertie's not going to get asked back. If I have my prediction, I don't think Gertie or Julia will get asked back, which makes me then wonder, without Julia, would Adriana get asked back? You know what I mean? But they did bring up an issue that I thought was good to bring up on these shows. And this ties into Dr. Wendy as well, the classism. Because like I said, listen, and I'm probably a part of the problem, because I do like to see these ladies doing well. I like to see them being rich and fabulous, but I don't want them to get it by fraudulent means. I want it to be authentic. But then Gertie brings it up of like, okay, so Stephanie can cuss you out and you're okay with it and you don't mind it. Why? Because you want to get on her private plane. Why? Because you want to borrow one of her Birkins. But then I do any little thing, which honestly Gertie didn't do anything, which I'm still so mad at her, because it's like, what did the text messages prove? They proved that Julia's a liar. That's all you had to say. They proved that Julia's a liar. I never asked her to go on that cruise. She asked me. You know what I mean? So I wasn't happy with that. I'm glad we got a little more clarification on the lesbian hookup. I'm glad that we learned about the Haitian mortician. Listen, if I send you a coffee maker, you know what it means. It means I got Haitian morticians on the brain. So Julia is not in an open relationship with Martina, but she's been kissing people. She's been hooking up with people. Now, so I mean, I guess she's bisexual, which is fine. There's no bi erasure over here. But I mean, it doesn't sound like she's being really true to Martina. I think that Martina deserves a roll in the hay with Kiki at this point. Because dang, Julia, and then again, Miami CPS, please check on those children, because I even saw some stuff online where Julia's social worker is going back and forth in the comments with Gertie. What kind of that's what I'm like, what is going on? What did y'all do to get those children? And I don't like those children being brought into all that chaos. And then just quickly on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Bronwyn, what are you doing? Send your mom to Shady Pines. I do not know. There ain't no way in God's green, nothing. And I love my mama. Hey, mom. But mama, you already know. If you're living in my house, you already know. Don't try me. I've let my mom know many a times. Don't try me, because you will end up in the Shady Pines. Bronwyn, throw your mama in the same Shady Pines with your daddy, because your mama is too disrespectful, and that is not okay. When a girl gets pregnant, I don't care if you're a teenager, I don't care if you're 52. Getting pregnant, having a baby, that is a beautiful blessing. How can you as a mother make your daughter feel bad? Like, yes, of course, you don't want your daughter to be a victim of teenage pregnancy. You don't want your teenagers out here having unprotected sex. Obviously, yes, nobody wants that. But it's like, and I don't know how, I mean, I feel like some Christians are like this too. Some religious people, you're so judgmental that you're not going to show love to your pregnant daughter. Your pregnant single teenage daughter who needs you the most. You're not going to show her love. You're still 20 years later this judgmental and nasty about it. Oh no, Miss Muzzy, you need a muzzle, and you need to go to the Shady Pines, Miss Muzzy. And if I got any pregnant teenagers listening right now, and I don't want, if you're a teenager, I don't want you to get pregnant, please. But if you do not let anybody shame you. No matter how a baby gets here, a baby is a beautiful blessing from God. And any of my moms in the crew right now, please sprinkle some birth control in your teenage daughter's cereal in the morning. Shove an IUD up there in her sleep, something like that. But if it does happen, you got to show your kids love no matter what, man. I don't care if your kids are gay, straight, pregnant. You got to show your kids love, which leads me to my girl, Brittany Bateman. Hi, Brittany. I love Brittany. Okay. I think Brittany is doing a really good job of coming in and just being authentic, being herself, right or wrong. So we've seen these ups and downs with her and Jared Osmond, and it really warmed my heart. I was really proud of Whitney Ginger Rose for saying to Brittany, look, if you got a chance to work it out with your kids, work it out with your kids. You might not ever get the chance again. And, Brittany was stroking that cactus like its name was Jared Osmond. And I don't know if she was getting it in that moment, but Brittany, I hope you do get it because I am rooting for Brittany and Jared. I am. But honestly, Brittany, I'm rooting for you to be with somebody even better than Jared. I have switched my position, and this is something that I have to learn in my own life too. Y'all know I am on a mission to just trust God more. And I feel like so often we're holding on to things and we're holding on to this image that we're supposed to have. That's what Dr. Wendy was doing, holding on to this image. Why not just trust God that He's going to provide? You don't need to steal. You don't need to be fraudulent. You need to trust God that He's giving you the ability to go out there and and attain wealth. You should know that. And also, Brittany, I know that you're a woman of faith. You just posted that beautiful video of you singing at church. You have to trust that the man God has for you is not going to stand in the way of your relationship with your kids. First of all, nothing should stand in the way of your relationship with your kids. But and this is what I tell my parents all the time too. Y'all got to listen to your adult kids. We be knowing what we be talking about because y'all raised us and you raised us well. So now I think that is the privilege of having adult children. Listen to us. We want the best for you. Just like how you always wanted the best for us, we want the best for you. So, Brittany, please reconcile with your daughter, release. Don't be afraid to let Jared go. Let him go. If you love somebody, set them free. And if they come back to you, great. And if they don't, then it wasn't meant to be. And that means that you're meant to be with somebody else. Now let's slide into the Tooks takeaway. My Tooks takeaway this week, don't be fraudulent. Don't be fraudulent. Don't be fake. Be who you are. If you broke, be broke. Stand 10 toes down in the brokenness. Yeah, I'm broke. Yeah, while you guys are at Gucci, I'm at Ross. You know, wait, that sounded personal. I'm not talking about me. I'm not broke. I'm blessed and highly favored, okay? I am very, thank you, God. But when you get on a show like this, you have to be real. You have to be honest. Again, not to bring up Bethany Frankel again, but go back and watch seasons 1 through 3 of The Real Housewives of New York. Bethany was living in an apartment on the Upper East Side, scraping pennies together. But that's what we like to see. We like to see the growth. Dr. Wendy, you did not have to go out here and be fraudulent. Nobody, don't be fraudulent. I know there's a lot of pressure. You get on these shows, there's a lot of pressure to do this, to do that, to have an image. But I'm telling you, from the fan standpoint, we will respect you so much more if we see you grow. You start out in that apartment, but baby, by season 3 or 4, you're going to have the house. Y'all will see it when I get my reality show. Maybe season 1, I'll be in my apartment, but y'all, I'd be manifesting that by season 2, we're at least in a house. And by season 3, we've got our estate. So that's the Tooks takeaway, y'all. Keep it real. Don't be fraudulent. Trust God. Trust the Lord. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not on your own understanding. Trust that the Lord is willing and able to provide you with everything you need. And sometimes you do need a Gucci bag. Hey, listen, y'all, make sure you are subscribed. Thank y'all so much for the love and support. You guys, oh, mwah, mwah, mwah. I hope you're getting extra blessings this week because you deserve it, because y'all bless me so much. I love each and every one of y'all. And make sure you follow me on social media because I'm a clout chaser at LaKendra Tooks, at Tooks Takes. Y'all got to make sure you support me so I don't ever have to do insurance fraud. Make sure you support me so I don't have to be fraudulent. And as always, I hope and pray that my light helps you find your light and you shine so bright. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.